My my grandpa and grandma, Fodczuk, they were in the Ukraine during the Great Genocide, and my grandmother saw her. Well, she was actually underneath the boards of the floor when she heard her whole family murdered. And long story short, she found her way to Germany, and that's where my grandfather, who was recruited by the German war machine to become a part of the German SS, and he was a prisoner of war, and they were executing people and extraditing people back to the Ukraine. So he and 3 of his buddies broke out of prison, and they were caught. They were caught in Austria, and several guys, people were blindfolded, and they were going to execute him pretty much next. And a little bit of hell broke loose in the camp, and blindfolded, my grandfather ran with his hands bound and jumped a 6-foot wall. And then he made it across Austria, eating grubs and worms on his bare feet. And I thought, how can I not lose 52 pounds in 84 days? So that was my background of who I am. I'm 50% Ukrainian. On the day I started this challenge, I followed Ryan Chamberlain because I believe in him, and into a company that has saved my life and saved all of our lives. Our quality of life is different now, isn't it not, gentlemen? And so on the day that I started this challenge, I put my 2 biological children on a plane, and they left to Virginia, because that's just, part of my life, and that's part of the reason why I gained, 70 pounds originally. And on that day, my 1-year-old son that I have with my new wife had a seizure. And when he rolled his eyes in the back of his head as he was eating, I just couldn't believe that God would be so cruel to me. And so I left the house. I told my wife I had to leave. Anyways, the long and short is that night, I had already decided that I'm going to win the E84 challenge. I said I'm going to win, and I said I'm going to do this for my son and for my family. But here's the deal. As I was starting my challenge, I lost, 12 pounds in the first 10 days, and we hear that a little bit, quite often. The bottom line here is that I could not, and this is not a sales point or trying to plug the company. I'm telling you the most frank truth from my heart. I could not have done it without the Evolve products. I could not have done it. So in my story, I basically say that the Evolve products gave my body what it needed to operate at its maximum potential. And the question is, to everybody in this room, what are you going to do with that? Are you just going to put 1 million people in the business? Or are you going to change your life first? As I was waiting to find out if I was going to win or not, I was a little bit scared. But the bottom line is, expect to win. Evolve.
Yes.
Yes.
Do a quick photo here. You guys, all the finalists, come on over and just grab a quick photo here with everybody.